Have you ever borrowed before, and for what purpose? Were you actually sincere with the fund you borrowed to use it wisely for what meant for? Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Moni at Moni Ola TV, and briefly I want to talk about a crucial topic. Is a question: should you borrow fund, especially this time? Should you borrow money from someone? Should you borrow or not? Borrowing could actually help us to meet our needs, but it can also lead us to debt if not managed wisely. So let's consider the pros and cons of borrowing, because especially in the economic crisis and hardship that so many people are finding it difficult to survive. If we are not careful or we did not plan well, we continue to borrow, and by the time we realize, we are already in deep debt, not slight one. So let's consider the important: why should we borrow, and when should we borrow, and why should we borrow. Is very important. Let's discuss this topic together. Have you ever borrowed before, and for what purpose? Were you actually sincere with the fund you borrowed to use it wisely for what meant for? Because severally many people borrowed fund money to invest in a business, but they divert it to another thing. Well, borrowing might actually be good idea when you are using the money or the fund for investment opportunity, such as you want to start a business, you want to invest in education, or you want to get properties. Even starting a business, I will not advise you to borrow to start a business, because if you use it to start a business, from that same capital you want to repay back. But if you started the business probably with your own saved money, that's why it is advisable. If you want to start a business, why not start saving, get some fund? You might even start with that little fund you have. That will show as an evidence to the creditor that, oh, see me, let's assume I want to start a clothing business now. I actually bought some goods, but I also needed some funds so that it will help my scale of business and for me to reach a wider audience. So it is advisable for a business person not to borrow to start the business, but to borrow and add to your business. So by the time you are paying back, it will not affect the main business as a whole, but just be paying from your profit. So it is of best interest you have tested the business, and you'll be running it for like 6 months or thereabout or more. So you'll have seen the benefits, if there's any prospect in that business, how will it be, and how much will be needed that will help you to enlarge the scale of your business. This is very important. So let us consider it before we go for borrowing. And also, if you want to borrow, I will not advise that you borrow for feeding. Let's assume you borrow 50,000 today. Use it to feed within 1 week and 2 weeks. How do you intend to repay back? And the creditors or the loan company will not be harassing you, calling you here and there. Where's the money? So I will not advise that you borrow money to feed, knowing fully that the condition of the economy is somehow tough. So it's better you reach out to people that you feel that, okay, these are my people, they can actually help in one way or the other. And also the money they help you with, you can use to start something. There are some little business that you can do that can help you, that can yield daily income, especially consumables. You see along, you see people selling drinks, zobo drinks, selling granola, selling peanuts, selling things that by the time they gather the money at the end of the day, it will bring out something. Especially if you are not doing anything, you don't have a job now, it is high time you start a business. There is no shame in business, so that's it. You not feel ashamed that, see me, I've been an office person, look at me starting with a small scale. That small scale will become big one. So get up and start doing something rather than going for a loan app, borrowing money here, borrowing money there, and without they give out 20,000, within 2 weeks they want you to repay 35,000 or thereabout. especially people that have kids and have children. So it is high time we get up and plan our ways. It is advisable for you to borrow now. If you want to borrow, borrow for business, but not to start that business. Borrow for the continuity and the enlargement of that business. There are factors to consider before borrowing money. The number one important factor you need to consider is the interest payment. You should not, because this person has promised me, this company has promised me to borrow me 200,000. Let me get, okay, bring 200,000. Consider the interest. How much is the interest they are going to place on it? Some loan company or people that borrow out money to people, the interest on it is very high. So if you are just impatient to consider the interest and you collect the money, by the time they calculate it for you, you now be feeling bad if they've cheated you. So it's better you come to the table, be calm enough to calculate the interest. Let's assume someone want to loan you 200,000 and it's asking you to pay back 300,000 within 6 months. Do you think it's advisable? So not that, I will pay. Consider it. The interest, is it good for me? Am I going for a long time loan or short time? With this interest, will I be able to pay within the specific period of time? Another important thing you need to consider is term of payment, the duration, the longevity. Will it be between 3 months, 6 months, 1 year? If you are using it to top up your business, it will not be advisable you pay the full loan back within 3 months. It will affect the business again. Let's assume you borrow 200,000 and you have to pay it back with loan within 3 months. That will affect the business. That means if you stock up in a particular day and people are saying that your wares is full, your shop is full, you have full goods there, and within 3 months the whole thing go down again, and paying the loan back with the interest. So that might not be encouraging. Consider the terms of the payment. How will it be? Can you hold on for me for 6 months, or after 6 months I will be paying back, or I will start paying back after 3 months, so that it will have helped your business so that it will like double the money and you'll be able to use it for business very well before the repayment. Consider this point too, your financial stability. What are the daily sales of your business? If your own business is every month, the sales is every month, what do you have every month? What is the sales for every day? You need to consider it. How will you repay back to avoid any form of harassment? Or like some loan app now, they say I will send your name to your contact, tell them that you are fraudsters. To avoid all those things, you need to consider your financial statement, your repayment mode. How will I be repaying this loan without being affected and without it affecting my business or causing crash between me and the loan company or the creditors? It is very important. The last thing we need to consider is the purpose of the loan. I've said it earlier that the purpose of collecting is very important. God forbid, there are some times that we have emergency, maybe medical issue, that we have to consider loan. Please, I need this loan to stabilize the situation, to bring back this person to life, to stability. That one apart. But if you want to collect loan, you are not sick, you are okay, consider the purpose of collecting that loan. That's why I advise that you collect loan for business purposes alone, for investments, not for party. You want to do wedding, or your children want to do wedding, your uncle want to do wedding, or you want to do burial of one aged woman. No, if really at this time, if people come for your celebrations or for your ceremonies, don't expect that, as they are coming, they will bring me money. They may and they might not. So you should not go and borrow so that it will not affect your credibility with the creditors. It is very important. Should you borrow or not? Yes, you can borrow, but for business purposes alone. Now, reason why you should not borrow. I said it in the title that should I borrow fund now? I say yes or no. The yes one is that you can use it for business or for investment purposes. But no, do not borrow because economic uncertainty. The economic crisis or harsh economy can affect you, especially if your job you are doing is not secured. If you go and borrow and you lost that job or something happen, how will you repay back? So if you can still maintain your financial stability, you can still work around what you have, I will advise that you should not borrow. because borrow will even lead to stress, and some people, do you see them, they will be depressed because they are unable to what, to pay back. I've heard of horrible stories concerning people that are committing suicide. They are ending it all because of debt. So reason why you should not borrow, if it is possible, is because of economic uncertainty. The economy is not certain, things are going higher every day. The price of goods and services are being increased. So if you borrow today, think it that, okay, the 100,000 that I borrowed, I'm going to repay back, I'm going to use it for this, and you go to the market and the whole thing is already in high prices. How will you sustain it? How will you repay? So if you can still manage what you have, I would advise you not to borrow. Another point that I will say you should not borrow is what is accumulating debt. I've seen it. I've seen it happen to people. It actually happened to me before. When you are owing someone and the person is pressurizing you, you go into another debt to repay that one. And the one you go into, the new one will be higher. So you go into higher debt to repay the pending one, and you are in another debt. And the other one too is asking, you go into further debt because you now have another sources of income to fill up and to pay off. That's why I usually advise that we get additional streams of income. Another important thing why you should not borrow is the interest rate. The interest rate keeps increasing daily. Even from the banks, you see them increasing their rates daily. Also from all these app loans and other people, for them to release their money, they will increase the rate. Are you ready? And if you default, there are some people that I've seen someone that borrowed money. He borrowed 100,000 and he could not pay. And daily they are adding extra 750. Later it increased to 1,000 daily. They increase the rate, making sure that person get the money, and the person could not afford the money. So it keeps on accumulating debt because of high interest. So if you don't have any important thing to use the money for, like business, I will advise you not to borrow, because if you borrow and the money is just wasted and it's being used for cooking, eating and clothing, it will affect your credibility. And if you are unable to pay, the owner of the money comes looking for you, and next time if you needed the money for an important thing, I don't think the creditors will release it for you. They will deny you granting you the loans. So it's better you put on the table, analyze, why should I borrow, and must I borrow now, must I borrow fund now, or I can live without borrowing. It is very important. Practical steps you need to consider or you need to take before borrowing money. Number one is your financial health. Consider your income, your expenses, how heavy is it, how much do you earn, how much do you spend. Try to balance. Another important thing is you can go for alternative options like cutting down your expenses, considering another sources of income, maybe going for another source of income, or consulting your people wherever you feel that, okay, I have siblings that can help me or that can set me up in a particular business. Another third one is what? Professional advice. You need to go for an advice. Let them advise you. Let them tell you the pros and cons of borrowing, and also help you to analyze the interest if you are not being cheated, or how it will impact your business if you go into such loan, and how easy they can help you to analyze it in repayment. It is very important you go out for counseling before you take the loan, so that you will not lead to stress or depression because of default or unable to pay the loan. Really, I've seen so many people, they keep on borrowing to start a business. They start the business, within few weeks they just close out the business, go to another business again, do this one. You need to be calm, see what can I do with this fund, analyze it. And I've said earlier that start with your own money, or get some people to support you. Start and trade it, see how it goes before you collect additional money. I pray God will guide us and help us to survive any form of economic uncertainty in Jesus' name. If you find this video impactful and inspiring, kindly like, comment, and don't forget to share with your loved ones. I am Moni Ola TV. Watch out for more of my videos. Thank you. God bless you. Bye for now.